As Ahsoka Tano defeats the Imperial Magistrate of the planet Corvus, she asks the Imperial, where is her master? Where is Thrawn? As we all know, Grand Admiral Thrawn is a character created by Timothy Zahn in his Heir to the Empire series back in the mid-90s. If you haven't read that trilogy, I would recommend doing so. They are deemed legends now, but Thrawn has been brought back into canon by introducing him in Star Wars Rebels, and now Zahn has been working on the second canon trilogy of the character. Thrawn was an Imperial Navy officer who was cunning and ruthless. He assumed control of the Empire in Legends novels, but is he really going to be the bad villain of the new Filoniverse? Today on Star Wars Fanatic. If you are new to the channel or just haven't committed yet, go on and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Also, hit the thumbs up to help this video reach more viewers. The last we see Grand Admiral Thrawn, he and Ezra Bridger are on the command deck of Thrawn's capital ship, the Chimera. Bridger, a young Jedi, is there to stop the Imperial occupation of his home planet of Lothal and is fighting Thrawn for control of the planet. Ezra then summons the help of a herd, school, flock, I don't know, but they're all called Purrgil. Space creatures that can travel through hyperspace and feed on Tabana gas to fuel their exploits. The Purrgil listen to Ezra's requests through the Force and wrap themselves around the ship, then jump into hyperspace, taking Ezra and Thrawn with them. In The Mandalorian, we find Ahsoka freeing a town on Corvus. She asks the Imperial Magistrate where Thrawn is. She doesn't get a straight answer. With the defeat of Moff Gideon, we know he won't be the big bad of at least The Mandalorian. However, with what has been dubbed both the Filoniverse and the Mandoverse, we know that the stories of The Mandalorian, the Ahsoka series, the Rangers of the New Republic, and the Book of Boba Fett will all be tied in together, similar to the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Thanos eventually rising as the main villain. Now, I'm not saying Thanos will make his way into the galaxy far, far away, but it will be done in a similar fashion. Why? Because it works. So, who will the big bad of Star Wars become? That's really up for speculation, but it has been teased, or at minimum been rumored, that there will be a new villain to rise. That brings me back to Grand Admiral Thrawn. I made a video in the past about Thrawn and my predictions for his character. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description and at the end of this video. But in a nutshell, Thrawn is the obvious candidate to be the main villain. However, Thrawn was more of a military man with loyalty to the Empire, of which he was recruited. He was a strategist and tactical genius in charge of putting down the fledgling rebellion cell led by Hera Syndulla and the crew of the Ghost. He has since been taken to the unknown regions with Ezra, where they have been missing since just before the events of A New Hope. Sabine Wren and Ahsoka Tano have been trying to find them. In the meantime, my theory is that Ezra and Thrawn were forced to work together in order to combat oppression or a conquest from another band of beings, possibly the Grisk, a sort of band of marauders. Ezra and Thrawn being forced to work together would give them a new respect for each other and a fondness. Thrawn has always been fascinated with the Jedi, since the time he worked with Anakin Skywalker. Thrawn is a very inquisitive being, in that he likes to get to know every aspect of a culture, like he did with the Twi'lek royalty in Star Wars Rebels. Like I mentioned, Thrawn is the obvious choice for a villain that would span the entirety of 4 shows, but it is also rumored that the villain may even come out of the High Republic era. That would put this villain nearly 300 years old if you go back to the beginning of the High Republic era. But I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll be near the end of the High Republic era. Thrawn is nothing close to that. So if Thrawn is going to find a new lease on life in an empire that isn't what he signed up for, and has made a friend of me, yes, I said that word, with a Jedi, who would the next big bad be? There is a theory that it could be Supreme Leader Snoke. This also makes sense, as he was made in the unknown regions on Exegol, but none other than Emperor Palpatine himself. He was then placed in the First Order as a figurehead leader as Palpatine recovered from his multiple cloning processes. While that was going on, He used Snoke to manipulate Ben Solo to turn him to the dark side. Snoke even mentioned that he saw the rise and fall of the Empire, and it was originally in the plans that he was an ancient being. That was thwarted when he turned out to be a clone. Clones, 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 everywhere. So that makes it nearly impossible to have Supreme Leader Snoke as the main overarching villain of the entire Star Wars saga thus far, if the rumors are true. So, whom will it be? That is the question that I have decided to take on here. My theories may be incorrect, and they most likely are, but it's fun to speculate until we see it happen. But if Star Wars is going to tie everything together, as in all periods dealing with good and evil in the galaxy far, far away, or the Star Wars universe really, then it has to be someone elusive, someone we wouldn't expect to hear about again. Before I get into my theory of whom it may be, I will preface it with this. We will see a lot of Legends material being brought up into the stories. It's already been happening with Boba Fett and the whole Jaster Muriel thing, as well as Jango Fett being a foundling. Thrawn has been made canon after being in Legends for so long, and his long stint in the expanded universe, after his appearance in Star Wars Rebels. But the villain I suggest isn't exactly Legends. He has been talked about, but there has been no appearance by him in any of the television nor cinematic media. It would have to be someone who could live longer than most beings. I propose it is none other than Darth Sidious' old master, Darth Plagueis the Wise. Why? Because it makes sense. The puppet master becomes the unwitting puppet. Darth Sidious always felt he was in control of every situation. He showed his political prowess, but he would not have been able to achieve his goals if even one thing didn't go as planned. From his three apprentices, Darth Maul, Darth Tyrannus or Count Dooku, and Darth Vader, being there to push along each step of his plan, he was a master planner, but chance or the Force could have taken it away from him easily. Remember, Plagueis had found the way to cheat death and taught it to Sidious. Who is to say Sidious wasn't wrong about not having time to show that Plagueis could do it? At the time of his supposed death, he was about 115 years old. This falls in line with my theory. The new big bad will come about near the end of the High Republic era. He may be a shadow at this time, and that puts his age right about perfect for him to be the main baddie now. It would be great to see Palpatine played this whole time without knowing it, only to have Plagueis take control during the Empire's demise. Palpatine wouldn't even know. Remember, Darth Plagueis the Wise. So that's my theory. What do you think? I'm probably off, but it would make sense to bring him back and have an actual appearance with him. Is he a Mun? Do you have a different theory? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. If you're new to the channel or haven't taken the creed, go on and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on all of my Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and the Book of Boba Fett content. Also, go ahead and give the video a like to show your love for what I do here, and share the video with some Star Wars fans. Let's see if we can get this video over 1,000 views. Thank you for watching, and remember, this is the way, the only way.